Throughout history, humanity has devised countless methods of punishment and torture. Some aim to instill fear, others to exact revenge, and many to assert dominance over enemies. But among these grim inventions, one stands out for its horrifying ingenuity and sheer brutality: the Brazen Bull. A grotesque symbol of cruelty, this device remains one of the darkest chapters in human history. A tool designed not just to kill, but to inflict maximum suffering, both physical and psychological, on its victims. The Brazen Bull was a masterpiece of sadistic engineering. Its purpose? To turn human suffering into a spectacle. Imagine a hollow bronze statue, carefully crafted in the shape of a bull, large enough to contain a human being. But this was no mere sculpture. This was perhaps the most sophisticated and terrible execution device ever conceived by the human mind. This is the story of the Brazen Bull. The story begins in the 6th century in the ancient Greek colony, specifically in Acragas, a prosperous city-state located in modern-day Sicily. In the 6th century BCE, Acragas was ruled by a tyrant named Phalaris. His reign, like that of many ancient rulers, was marked by excess, ambition, and unrelenting cruelty, and his name became synonymous with barbaric governance. It was during Phalaris' rule that a craftsman named Perilos of Athens arrived. Perilos presented his invention to Phalaris, the tyrant of Acragas, as a tool for executing criminals in a manner that would instill fear and obedience in the populace. Phalaris, known for his cruelty, was intrigued by the device and ordered its construction. However, the story goes that Perilos himself became the first victim of the Brazen Bull, as Phalaris saw the invention as a reflection of its creator's twisted mind and decided to test it on him. The Brazen Bull was a life-size bronze statue of a bull, hollow on the inside, with a door on its side that allowed the victim to be placed within. The bull was meticulously crafted to resemble a real bull, complete with intricate details such as horns, eyes, and a mouth. The craftsmanship was so precise that the bull appeared almost lifelike, adding to the psychological terror of the device. Its interior, large enough to contain a human being. The interior of the bull was designed to amplify the victim's screams, transforming them into sounds resembling that of a crying bull. This was achieved through a series of tubes and pipes that acted as a crude acoustic system. As the victim screamed in agony, their cries would be distorted and projected through the bull's mouth, creating the illusion that the bull itself was alive and roaring. This feature not only added to the horror of the execution, but also served as a form of entertainment for the spectators, who would gather to witness the gruesome spectacle. Perilos installed an intricate system of tubes and pipes inside the bull's head. These were carefully designed so that when the victim screamed in agony, their cries would be transformed into sounds resembling the bellowing of a bull. This wasn't merely execution. It was execution as entertainment, death as performance art. The execution process was methodically designed to maximize suffering. The victim, often a criminal or political dissident, would be forced to watch the bull being heated, and they would observe the metal slowly turning red from the fire beneath. This psychological torture could last hours, with guards maintaining the fire at specific temperatures. When fully heated and ready, the victim would be stripped naked, with their hands and feet bound, and forced through the door head first. And the door would be sealed, keeping them in the dark, confined space. The space was designed to prevent movement, ensuring contact with heated metal. The fire would be stoked to maximum intensity. The bronze would heat to several hundred degrees. The victim would initially suffer from the scalding air, and their skin began to burn upon contact with the metal. The chamber would become hot enough to cause internal organ failure. Death could take anywhere from 30 minutes to several hours. The bronze construction was key to its horrific effectiveness. Bronze conducts heat efficiently, ensuring the interior heats evenly. The victim would effectively be roasted alive. Their screams would echo through the acoustic tubes, and the sounds emerging from the bull's mouth would sound like an animal bellowing. The bull incorporated several additional features to maximize suffering. The position forced victims to watch their own flesh burn, while the acoustics meant victims could hear their own transformed screams. Meanwhile, the small air holes were positioned to create whistling sounds, and the chamber size prevented unconsciousness from lack of oxygen. The smooth walls prevented injury that might hasten death. The shape forced victims into an unnatural, cramped position. The Brazen Bull was meticulously crafted, its gleaming surface a deceptive mask for its concealed horrors. When Paralos presented the completed device to the leader, he demonstrated its functionality by describing its horrifying capabilities in detail. But here's where the story takes an ironic turn. When Paralos presented his creation to Phalaris, proudly demonstrating the acoustic properties and explaining how the victim's screams would be transformed into bull-like sounds, Phalaris was indeed impressed, but not in the way Paralos had hoped. But the leader, Phalaris, true to his reputation, had no intention of leaving Paralos unrewarded. He ordered the craftsman to climb into the bull himself, under the guise of testing its acoustics. Paralos hesitates as guards shove him into the Brazen Bull. The door is sealed shut, and a fire is lit beneath it. As the flames licked the bronze, the metal began to heat. Trapped inside, Paralos screamed in agony. His cries transformed into grotesque bellows. Phalaris listened, enthralled, as his creation came to life. Some accounts suggest that Phalaris had Paralos removed before he died, only to then execute him by throwing him from a hill. Either way, the inventor paid the ultimate price for his horrific creativity. Paralos became the first victim of his own invention. The Brazen Bull was not merely an execution device, it was a weapon of psychological terror. Its very existence served as a deterrent, a reminder of the tyrant's power and the consequences of defying his rule. The spectacle of the execution, with the victim's screams transformed into the bellowing of a bull, was designed to dehumanize the victim and reinforce the tyrant's dominance. Victims suffered not only physical agony, but also the knowledge that their torment was a source of entertainment for onlookers. Its airtight interior ensured that death was neither swift nor merciful. The victim would endure prolonged exposure to the intense heat, their flesh searing as the bronze grew hotter. Each detail of the device, from the precision of its acoustics to the airtight seals, was meticulously crafted to maximize suffering and humiliation. Once the execution was complete, the charred remains of the victim could be easily removed, leaving the bull ready for its next gruesome use. According to accounts, the device was often used as public entertainment. Executions were usually scheduled during festivals when crowds would gather to watch and listen. Multiple executions were performed in sequence, with the bull being cleaned between uses. The device could be transported to a different location. The Brazen Bull's reign of terror didn't end with Phalaris. Accounts suggest that it was used by other rulers and tyrants, its infamy spreading across the ancient world. The sheer brutality of the device, however, made it a symbol of tyranny. Ironically, historical accounts claim that Phalaris himself was eventually overthrown and executed using the very Brazen Bull he had commissioned. Today, replicas and accounts of the Brazen Bull serve as grim reminders of humanity's capacity for cruelty. The Brazen Bull represents more than just a device of torture. It symbolizes the lengths to which humans can go in their quest for power and control. Its intricate design and grotesque purpose force us to confront uncomfortable truths about our past. How far are we willing to go to maintain order, to punish, or to dominate? The Brazen Bull stands out not only for its brutality, but also for its chilling efficiency. It was a tool of annihilation and spectacle, leaving behind a legacy that still haunts us today. As we reflect on the horrors of the Brazen Bull, we're reminded of the importance of compassion and justice. For while history may be unchangeable, the future remains unwritten. May the story of the Brazen Bull serve as a cautionary tale, a reminder that the pursuit of power should never come at the cost of our humanity.